Let's be honest, we're all thinking about it. This worry about AI taking our jobs. We're always told to be more efficient, more productive, basically, to be more like a machine. But what if the real secret to surviving AI isn't about trying to compete with it? What if it's about becoming completely, utterly useless? Now, I know that sounds crazy, but an ancient Taoist philosophy might just hold the key to our future.
So to really get this idea, this power of uselessness, we actually have to go way back in time. We're going to dig into a story from the ancient philosopher Zhuangzi, but we're going to give it a little twist. We're setting it in a very modern place, a forest of the future.
Okay, so I want you to picture a huge, ancient forest. But this isn't just any old forest. Woven right into the bark and the leaves are these glowing circuits of light. This is the forest of the future, and every single day, a super efficient robot stomps through it. We'll call it the AI woodcutter. Its mission is simple: find useful trees and process them with cold, logical precision.
Now, in this forest, there are two trees we need to meet. First up, you've got the straight tree. You can think of him as Mr. Perfect. He's tall, he's smooth, he's flawless. Just the ideal raw material. And then there's the crooked tree. It's this beautiful, gnarled mess, right? It's twisted, bumpy, and it's growing in every direction except up. It is wonderfully, utterly impractical.
So, as you can probably guess, with this AI woodcutter roaming around, these two trees had very, very different ideas about their own value. One of them saw its perfection as its greatest asset. The other? Well, this is where the story really gets good. The strayed tree was so proud, he'd tell anyone who'd listen, "Look at me! I am the very definition of useful. The woodcutter is gonna love me because I'm perfect, so easy to cut, so easy to use." He totally measured his worth by how useful he was to a machine.
And then one day, just like he always hoped, the AI woodcutter stomped right into his part of the forest. Its laser eyes were scanning, calculating, just searching for pure efficiency. And bam, the AI's gaze locked right onto the straight tree. You can just imagine its internal processors whirring away. Target identified, perfectly straight, maximum efficiency, easy to process. He was the perfect candidate. Zap! And just like that, the straight tree was cut down and turned into a neat little stack of toothpicks. His perfect utility? That's what made him the perfect target. He was used up in an instant.
So next, the AI turns and scans the crooked tree. It tries to process all the gnarled branches and the bumpy bark. Error, its internal system beeps. Shape is illogical, cannot produce standard parts. The robot just turned around and stomped away, basically muttering, "You are useless to me." And because it was useless to the machine, the crooked tree got to live.
Now, it's a pretty simple story, right? But you've probably already figured out it isn't really about trees. It's about us. The AI woodcutter isn't in some far-off forest. It's here, in our world, right now.
So let's really break this down. What does this ancient fable actually mean for you? For me, as we face the rise of AI, well, the connection, it's everything. The metaphor here is pretty clear, right? The AI woodcutter, that's artificial intelligence, always scanning for what's efficient. The straight tree? Well, that's any of us who are trying to beat AI at its own game, trying to be faster, more logical, more like a machine. And the crooked tree? That's our unique, messy, beautiful humanity.
And this gets us to the absolute core of the idea. The crooked tree survived because of its flaws. Its real power was in its uselessness to the machine. In this new age of AI, your greatest strength is the fact that you are not a machine. So we need to completely redefine the word useless. In this new context, it means having qualities that an algorithm just can't measure or copy easily. It's your creativity, your empathy, that weird sense of humor you have, your emotional intelligence. These aren't glitches in your system, they're your best features.
So here's the bottom line, the most important takeaway. The goal is not to be a better robot. AI is always going to be a better robot. The goal is to be a more human, to double down on the very things that make us so different.
Look, this is a powerful idea, but how do we actually use it? How do we start to actively grow our own inner crooked tree? Let's walk through a few practical steps.
All right, first step, embrace your weirdness. That strange hobby you love, that unique way you see the world, that's your competitive advantage. Do not smooth it out for the algorithm. Second, actively work on your creativity. Don't just follow the instructions. Connect ideas that nobody else sees. Always ask what if. And finally, lean into emotion. Real empathy, intuition, understanding, these are things AI can only imitate. It can't truly feel them. That's our territory.
And here's the thought I really want to leave you with. Your illogical passions, your inefficient empathy, your unpredictable creativity, all those things that would make you a terrible machine, they're the exact same things that make you an irreplaceable human.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What's the crooked part of you? What's that unique, weird, wonderfully human quality that you have that no machine could ever copy? Find that, grow it, because that is your greatest asset in the world that's coming.